Good evening and welcome to Poland Daily. I'm Conrad Gorlinski. The first story for today, according to the Health Ministry, the third wave of coronavirus infections might exceed the figures known from last fall. The government is preparing new temporary hospitals and indicates that the most dramatic situation may be in the most populous province of Silesia. If this happens, patients from Silesia will be transported to neighboring regions. At the same time, government officials are urging for social distancing, frequent disinfection, and the wearing of masks. These steps can diminish the spread of the virus. And yet another record day in Poland today with almost 32,000 new coronavirus infections and 448 pandemic-related deaths. The current sum of all cases is over 2,200,000, and total deaths have reached 51,753. So far, over 5.7 million jabs of the coronavirus vaccine have been administered in the country, with 3,785,646 having had the first dose and almost 2 million having completed the second dose. Dr. Robert Redfield, the former director of the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention, the CDC, says that he believes the novel coronavirus probably escaped from a lab in Wuhan. In an interview with CNN released Friday, Redfield stressed that this was his opinion on the origins of the virus, and he did not cite any evidence for the theory. I'm of the point of view that I still think the most likely etiology of this pathogen in Wuhan was from a laboratory, escaped, Redfield told CNN's Dr. Sanjay Gupta. Other people don't believe that. That's fine. Science will eventually figure it out. The idea that the virus emerged from a lab arose early on in the pandemic, when people noted that a high-security biolab in Wuhan, the Wuhan Institute of Virology, was studying coronaviruses. Still, a number of scientists say the most likely explanation is that the virus emerged naturally, passing from bats to another animal and then to humans. Redfield said that he didn't believe the bat theory. Normally, when a pathogen goes from a zoonosis to humans, it takes a while for it to figure out how to become more and more efficient in human-to-human transmission, Redfield told CNN. I just don't think this makes biological sense. The former CDC chief wasn't suggesting SARS-CoV-2 is an engineered virus, another theory with no supporting evidence, just a natural escapee. In the lab, you think that the process of becoming more efficient was happening? Gupta asked. Yeah, let's just say I have coronaviruses that I'm working on. Most of us in the lab were trying to grow a virus. We tried to help make it grow better and better and better, so we can do experiments, Redfield responded. Germany's Constitutional Court has suspended ratification of the EU Recovery Fund. Judges at the Constitutional Court in Karlsruhe stated that they must investigate several legal challenges against the debt-financed investment plan. The plan is to provide €750 billion financed by the European Union based on a guarantee that member states will repay. However, some analysts consider this framework to be a breach of the EU treaties. While both chambers of the German parliament ratified legislation this week, it will not enter into the law unless signed by the Constitutional Tribunal. The idea is that the European Commission will be allowed to raise up to €750 billion on capital markets and pass on the money to member states worst hit by the pandemic through payments linked to jointly agreed reform and investment plans, partly as grants and partly as loans. Opponents of the idea raise the question if the EU can be allowed to raise the upper limit for national contributions to the EU budget by 0.6 percentage points to 2% of gross national income until 2058. And if the EU, as an international organization, has the power to raise debts on behalf of member states. There is no time limit for the court to decide on the complaint, but it could take up to 3 months for the court to decide on the emergency appeal. Today, in the early morning, at the age of 77, Józef Schiller, an electrician from the W4 department of the Gdańsk Lenin shipyard, has died. He was a participant of December 70 and, at the beginning of 1971, was one of the leaders of the protest of shipyard workers demanding commemoration of the victims of December 70. On December 13th, 2018, on the 37th anniversary of the introduction of martial law, President Andrzej Duda awarded Schiller with the Knight's Cross of the Order of Polonia Restituta. He was also decorated with the Cross of Freedom and Solidarity. That's all for tonight. Thank you and have a great evening.